Welcome to Birdsy. We move fast in these videos to cover as much ground as possible. If you need more time to think, just hit that pause button before I reveal the answer.
Let's begin with a review of property ownership and land use controls. What is the primary characteristic of a fee simple estate? Is it A, full ownership with the right to transfer? B, ownership limited to the owner's lifetime? C, ownership with restrictions on use? Or D, ownership that reverts to the state upon death? The answer is A, full ownership with the right to transfer. A fee simple estate is the most complete form of ownership, providing the owner with full control over the property, including the right to sell, lease, or bequeath it. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a life estate? Is it A, limited to the life of the tenant? B, reverts to a remainderman or grantor? C, allows the tenant to sell the property outright? Or D, terminates upon the death of the tenant? The answer is C, allows the tenant to sell the property outright. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, life estates can be confused with other types of estates due to their limited duration. However, they do not grant the right to sell the property outright. John inherits a property with a condition that it reverts to his uncle if he ever uses it for commercial purposes. What type of estate does John have? Is it A, fee simple absolute? B, fee simple defeasible? C, life estate? Or D, leasehold estate? The answer is B, fee simple defeasible. John has a fee simple defeasible estate, which is subject to a condition that can cause the property to revert to the original owner or another party. What is a key feature of a joint tenancy? Is it A, tenants can sell their share independently? B, ownership is divided by shares? C, ownership is limited to family members? Or D, right of survivorship? The answer is D, right of survivorship. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, meaning if one tenant dies, their interest passes to the surviving tenants. Maria and Tom own a property as tenants in common. Maria wants to sell her share. What is true about her rights? Is it A, Maria can sell her share without Tom's consent? B, Maria needs Tom's approval to sell her share? C, Maria cannot sell her share until Tom agrees? Or D, Maria must sell her share to Tom first? The answer is A, Maria can sell her share without Tom's consent. As a tenant in common, Maria can sell her share independently without Tom's consent, as each tenant owns an individual part of the property.
How'd you do on the first 5 questions? Go ahead and subscribe to Birdsy now and turn your progress into exam day confidence. Ready to jump back in? Let's go.
Forms of ownership and homestead rules. What is the primary purpose of a homestead exemption in Texas? Is it A, to reduce property taxes by a fixed percentage? B, to protect a portion of the home's value from creditors? C, to ensure the property cannot be sold without the owner's consent? Or D, to allow for tax-free sale of the property? The answer is B, to protect a portion of the home's value from creditors. A homestead exemption primarily protects a portion of a homeowner's property value from creditors, providing financial security. In Texas, which form of ownership allows for the right of survivorship without the need for probate? Is it A, tenancy in common? B, community property? C, joint tenancy? Or D, tenancy by the entirety? The answer is C, joint tenancy. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Joint tenancy and community property with right of survivorship both involve survivorship, but only joint tenancy avoids probate directly. John and Lisa, a married couple in Texas, want to ensure that their property automatically transfers to the surviving spouse without probate. What form of ownership should they choose? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, joint tenancy, C, community property, or D, community property with right of survivorship? The answer is D, community property with right of survivorship. Community property with right of survivorship allows property to pass directly to the surviving spouse without probate. Which of the following is a characteristic of tenancy in common? Is it A, each owner has an undivided interest in the property, B, ownership automatically transfers to the surviving owners, C, owners must be married to hold this type of ownership, or D, it is only available for residential properties? The answer is A, each owner has an undivided interest in the property. Tenancy in common allows each owner to have an undivided interest in the property, which can be sold or inherited independently. Maria owns a home in Texas and wants to protect it from creditors while ensuring it passes to her children upon her death. What should she do? Is it A, transfer the property to a trust, B, file a homestead exemption and create a will, C, add her children to the deed as joint tenants, or D, establish a life estate for her children? The answer is B, file a homestead exemption and create a will. Filing a homestead exemption protects the home from creditors, while a will ensures it passes to her children.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to Birdsy.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
Land use controls, zoning, police power, and eminent domain. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in real estate? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to regulate land use and development, C, to enforce building codes, or D, to manage public transportation? The answer is B, to regulate land use and development. Zoning laws are designed to regulate land use and ensure that property development aligns with community planning goals. Which of the following is not a typical example of police power in real estate? Is it A, zoning regulations, B, building codes, C, health regulations, or D, property tax assessments? The answer is D, property tax assessments. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, police power includes zoning, building codes, and health regulations, but not property tax assessments. A city plans to build a new highway that will require taking private land. What legal process allows this action? Is it A, zoning adjustment, B, police power, C, eminent domain, or D, inverse condemnation? The answer is C, eminent domain. Eminent domain allows the government to take private land for public use, provided fair compensation is given. What is the legal term for the government's right to regulate land use for the public's health, safety, and welfare? Is it A, police power, B, eminent domain, C, zoning, or D, condemnation? The answer is A, police power. Police power is the government's authority to regulate land use for the community's benefit. A homeowner wants to build a second story on their house, but the local zoning ordinance restricts building height. What should they apply for? Is it A, rezoning, B, variance, C, easement, or D, subdivision? The answer is B, variance. A variance allows a property owner to deviate from zoning requirements under specific conditions. Texas-specific land use restrictions and environmental concerns. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in Texas? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to regulate land use and development, C, to protect endangered species, or D, to manage water rights? The answer is B, to regulate land use and development. Zoning laws in Texas are primarily designed to regulate land use and ensure that property development aligns with community plans and safety standards. In Texas, which entity typically enforces local land use restrictions? Is it A, the state government, B, county commissioners, C, municipalities, or D, homeowners associations? The answer is C, municipalities. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term local might mislead you to think of smaller entities, but municipalities are responsible for enforcing local land use restrictions. A developer in Texas wants to build a new residential community near a protected wetland. What must they consider to comply with environmental regulations? Is it A, only the local zoning laws, B, the availability of utilities, C, the proximity to schools and hospitals, or D, environmental impact assessments? The answer is D, environmental impact assessments. Developers must consider environmental impact assessments to ensure compliance with regulations protecting sensitive areas like wetlands. Which Texas agency is responsible for overseeing environmental quality and compliance? Is it A, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, B, Texas Department of Transportation, C, Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, or D, Texas Department of Public Safety? The answer is A, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality is the primary agency responsible for environmental oversight in Texas.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? The next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai. You'll get immediate help, complimentary study sessions, and access to hundreds of additional questions. It's the best tool to help you pass with confidence.
Agency and fiduciary duties. What is the primary duty of an agent under the Texas Real Estate Commission rules? Is it A, to represent the best interests of the client, B, to ensure the highest commission possible, C, to disclose all offers to the client, or D, to maintain confidentiality of all parties? The answer is A, to represent the best interests of the client. The primary duty of an agent is to represent the best interests of their client, which is a fundamental aspect of fiduciary duty. Under TREC rules, when does an agency relationship typically terminate? Is it A, when the agent decides to terminate, B, upon completion of the transaction, C, when the client finds a better agent, or D, when the contract expires? The answer is B, upon completion of the transaction. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Termination can occur in several ways, but the most common is the completion of the transaction, which is not always explicitly stated. Sarah, a real estate agent, has just helped her client purchase a home. What happens to their agency relationship now? Is it A, it continues until the client decides to end it, B, it continues until the agent decides to end it, C, it ends with the completion of the transaction, or D, it ends when the contract expires? The answer is C, it ends with the completion of the transaction. The agency relationship typically ends upon the completion of the transaction, such as the purchase of a home. Which of the following is a way to create an agency relationship under TREC rules? Is it A, through verbal agreement only, B, by implication through actions, C, by mutual understanding without documentation, Or D, through a written agreement? The answer is D, through a written agreement. An agency relationship can be created through a written agreement, which is the most formal and clear method. John, a seller, decides to terminate his agency relationship with his real estate agent before the contract expires. What must he do according to TREC rules? Is it A, simply stop communicating with the agent? B, provide written notice to the agent? C, wait for the contract to expire? Or D, find a new agent to replace the current one? The answer is B, provide written notice to the agent. To terminate an agency relationship before the contract expires, John must provide written notice to his agent. Fiduciary duties and authorized brokerage activities. What is the primary duty of a real estate agent under fiduciary responsibilities? Is it A, to act in the best interest of the client? B, to maximize personal commission? C, to disclose all offers to the client? Or D, to maintain a professional appearance? The answer is A, to act in the best interest of the client. The primary duty of a real estate agent under fiduciary responsibilities is to act in the best interest of their client, ensuring loyalty and confidentiality. Which of the following actions might breach an agent's fiduciary duty of confidentiality? Is it A, discussing client needs with a lender? B, sharing client information with another agent without consent? C, providing client details to a home inspector? Or D, discussing market conditions with the client? The answer is B, sharing client information with another agent without consent. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, discussing client information with another agent might seem harmless, but it breaches confidentiality unless authorized. A client asks their agent to withhold information about a property's defect from potential buyers. What should the agent do to comply with fiduciary duties? Is it A, agree to the client's request to maintain loyalty? B, ignore the client's request and remain silent? C, inform the client that the defect must be disclosed? Or D, report the defect only if asked by a buyer? The answer is C, inform the client that the defect must be disclosed. Agents must disclose material facts to potential buyers even if the client requests otherwise to avoid misrepresentation. Which fiduciary duty requires an agent to follow lawful instructions from their client? Is it A, duty of loyalty? B, duty of disclosure? C, duty of confidentiality? Or D, duty of obedience? The answer is D, duty of obedience. The duty of obedience requires agents to follow lawful instructions from their clients, ensuring compliance with their wishes. If an agent discovers a significant zoning issue after listing a property, what is their fiduciary duty regarding this information? Is it A, keep the information confidential to protect the client? B, disclose the zoning issue to potential buyers? C, only inform the client and let them decide? Or D, wait for a buyer to inquire about zoning? The answer is B, disclose the zoning issue to potential buyers. Agents must disclose material facts, such as zoning issues, to all parties involved to ensure informed decision-making. Intermediary relationships. What is the primary role of an intermediary in a Texas real estate transaction? Is it A, to facilitate a transaction between a buyer and seller without favoring either party? B, to represent the buyer's interests exclusively? C, to represent the seller's interests exclusively? Or D, to negotiate the best possible terms for both parties? The answer is A, to facilitate a transaction between a buyer and seller without favoring either party. An intermediary facilitates a transaction between a buyer and seller without favoring either party maintaining neutrality and confidentiality. Under Texas law, can an intermediary disclose confidential information to one party if it benefits the transaction? Is it A, yes, if it benefits the transaction? B, no, unless legally required to disclose? C, yes, if both parties agree in writing? Or D, no, unless the broker decides it's necessary? The answer is B, no, unless legally required to disclose. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The idea of benefiting the transaction might suggest flexibility, but intermediaries must maintain confidentiality unless legally required to disclose. A Texas real estate agent is acting as an intermediary in a transaction between a buyer and seller. The buyer asks the agent about the seller's lowest acceptable price. How should the agent respond? Is it A, disclose the seller's lowest price to facilitate the sale? B, suggest the buyer make an offer to find out? C, inform the buyer that they cannot disclose confidential information? Or D, ask the seller if they can share this information? The answer is C, inform the buyer that they cannot disclose confidential information. The agent must maintain confidentiality and cannot disclose the seller's lowest acceptable price to the buyer. What must a Texas real estate broker obtain to act as an intermediary in a transaction? Is it A, verbal consent from both parties? B, a signed contract with the buyer only? C, a signed contract with the seller only? Or D, written consent from both parties, including details of any compensation? The answer is D, written consent from both parties, including details of any compensation. A broker must obtain written consent from both parties, including details of any compensation. In a Texas real estate transaction, an intermediary broker learns confidential information from the seller that could affect the buyer's decision. What should the broker do? Is it A, disclose the information to the buyer to ensure transparency? B, maintain confidentiality and not disclose the information? C, ask the seller for permission to share the information? Or D, advise the buyer to conduct their own investigation? The answer is B, maintain confidentiality and not disclose the information. The broker must maintain confidentiality and cannot disclose the seller's information to the buyer. Broker supervision, teams, and advertising rules. What is the primary responsibility of a broker in supervising their agents according to TREC rules? Is it A, providing financial advice to clients? B, setting commission rates for all transactions? C, ensuring compliance with laws and regulations? Or D, handling all client communications? The answer is C, ensuring compliance with laws and regulations. Brokers must ensure that their agents comply with all applicable laws and regulations, including TREC rules, to maintain ethical and legal standards in real estate transactions. Under TREC rules, can a team name be used in advertising without including the broker's name? Is it A, yes, if the team is well known? B, no, the broker's name must always be included? C, yes, if the team has its own license? Or D, no, unless the team is a separate legal entity? The answer is B, no, the broker's name must always be included. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Team names can be prominently featured, but TREC requires the broker's name to be included in all advertising to ensure transparency and accountability. A real estate team led by Agent Smith is advertising a new listing. What must be included in the advertisement to comply with TREC rules? Is it A, the broker's name? B, the team's logo only? C, the agent's personal contact information? Or D, a disclaimer about the listing's accuracy? The answer is A, the broker's name. The broker's name must be included in all advertisements to ensure compliance with TREC rules, maintaining transparency and accountability. Agent Lee is part of a team and wants to post a listing on social media. What must Agent Lee include to comply with TREC advertising rules? Is it A, only the team name, B, the agent's personal website, C, a link to the full listing, or D, the broker's name? The answer is D, the broker's name. Agent Lee must include the broker's name in the social media post to comply with TREC rules, ensuring that the advertisement is transparent and accountable. Contracts. What is a bilateral contract? Is it A, a contract involving only one party making a promise, B, a contract where both parties exchange promises, C, a contract that is voidable at the option of one party, or D, a contract that is unenforceable due to lack of consideration? The answer is B, a contract where both parties exchange promises. A bilateral contract involves two parties making mutual promises to each other, creating obligations for both. This is the most common type of contract. Which of the following is not an essential element of a valid contract? Is it A, offer and acceptance, B, consideration, C, legal capacity, or D, witnesses? The answer is D, witnesses. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, all options are related to contracts, but witnesses are not required for validity, though they may be needed for certain formalities. John agrees to sell his car to Mary for $5,000, but later decides not to sell. Mary insists on the sale. What type of contract is this? Is it A, unilateral contract, B, voidable contract, C, bilateral contract, or D, executed contract? The answer is C, bilateral contract. This is an example of a bilateral contract where both parties have made promises. John's refusal to sell could lead to a breach of contract. What does consideration mean in contract law? Is it A, something of value exchanged between parties, B, the mutual agreement between parties, C, the legal ability to enter into a contract, or D, the formal witnessing of a contract? The answer is A, something of value exchanged between parties. Consideration refers to something of value exchanged between parties which is necessary for a contract to be enforceable. Lisa signs a contract to buy a house, but the seller fails to disclose a major defect. What type of contract might this be considered? Is it A, unenforceable contract, B, voidable contract, C, executed contract, or D, bilateral contract? The answer is B, voidable contract. This could be a voidable contract due to the seller's failure to disclose important information, allowing Lisa to potentially void the contract.
Did you get a different answer? Or maybe you have a question about the exam in general? Drop it in the comments below. We read and answer them personally.
TREC, promulgated forms and amendments. Which TREC promulgated form is used for the sale of a single-family home? Is it A, 1 to 4 family residential contract, B, residential condominium contract, C, unimproved property contract, or D, farm and ranch contract? The answer is A, 1 to 4 family residential contract. The 1 to 4 family residential contract is the standard form used for the sale of single-family homes in Texas. What is the purpose of the third-party financing addendum in a TREC contract? Is it A, to outline seller financing terms, B, to specify financing terms and conditions, C, to provide a timeline for closing, or D, to list property defects? The answer is B, to specify financing terms and conditions. The addendum specifies financing terms and conditions, including buyer's obligations and lender requirements. Why might a buyer's agent recommend using the addendum for sale of other property by buyer? Is it A, to ensure the buyer receives a lower interest rate, B, to guarantee the seller will accept the offer, C, to make the purchase contingent on selling another property, or D, to expedite the closing process? The answer is C, to make the purchase contingent on selling another property. This addendum is used when the buyer's purchase is contingent upon selling another property, protecting the buyer's interests. If a buyer wants to terminate the contract due to financing issues, which form should they use? Is it A, amendment to contract, B, seller's disclosure notice, C, third-party financing addendum, or D, notice of buyer's termination of contract? The answer is D, notice of buyer's termination of contract. The notice of buyer's termination of contract is used to formally terminate a contract due to financing issues. John is buying a house and the seller has agreed to leave the refrigerator. Which TREC form should John use to ensure this agreement is documented? Is it A, third-party financing addendum, B, non-realty items addendum, C, amendment to contract, or D, seller's disclosure notice? The answer is B, non-realty items addendum. The non-realty items addendum is used to document personal property included in the sale. Listing agreements and buyer representation agreements. What is the primary purpose of a listing agreement in real estate transactions? Is it A, to authorize a broker to market a property and find a buyer, B, to transfer ownership of the property to the broker, C, to guarantee the sale of the property within a specified time, or D, to set the final sale price of the property? The answer is A, to authorize a broker to market a property and find a buyer. A listing agreement primarily authorizes a broker to act as the seller's agent in marketing the property and finding a buyer. In a buyer representation agreement, who is responsible for paying the broker's commission? Is it A, the buyer always pays the broker's commission directly, B, the broker pays themselves from their own funds, C, the seller usually pays the broker's commission from the sale proceeds, or D, the commission is waived if the buyer finds the property themselves? The answer is C, the seller usually pays the broker's commission from the sale proceeds. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The buyer's broker is typically paid from the seller's proceeds, not directly by the buyer, unless otherwise agreed. Sarah signed a buyer representation agreement with broker A, but found a property on her own. What should broker A do regarding commission? Is it A, waive the commission since Sarah found the property, B, review the agreement terms to determine commission entitlement, C, demand commission from the seller instead, or D, cancel the agreement without further action? The answer is B, review the agreement terms to determine commission entitlement. Broker A should review the agreement terms as they may still be entitled to a commission even if Sarah found the property independently. What is an exclusive right-to-sell listing agreement? Is it A, an agreement allowing multiple brokers to sell the property, B, an agreement where the seller can sell the property without paying a commission, C, an agreement that requires the broker to buy the property if unsold, or D, an agreement granting the broker sole rights to sell and earn commission? The answer is D, an agreement granting the broker sole rights to sell and earn commission. An exclusive right-to-sell listing agreement gives the broker the sole right to earn a commission by representing the seller and finding a buyer. John is selling his home and has signed an open listing agreement with multiple brokers. What happens if John finds a buyer himself? Is it A, John owes no commission to any broker? B, John must pay a commission to the broker who listed the property first? C, John must split the commission among all brokers? Or D, John owes a commission to the broker who advertised the property most? The answer is A, John owes no commission to any broker. In an open listing, if John finds a buyer himself, he does not owe any commission to the brokers. Contract performance, breach, and remedies. What is the primary purpose of a remedy in contract law? Is it A, to punish the breaching party? B, to compensate the non-breaching party? C, to terminate the contract? Or D, to enforce specific performance? The answer is B, to compensate the non-breaching party. The primary purpose of a remedy in contract law is to compensate the non-breaching party for losses incurred due to the breach, not to punish the breaching party. In a contract dispute, which remedy is typically unavailable if monetary damages suffice? Is it A, compensatory damages? B, punitive damages? C, specific performance? Or D, liquidated damages? The answer is C, specific performance. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Specific performance is often misunderstood. It is only available when monetary damages are inadequate, such as in unique property transactions. John contracts with a builder to construct a house by June 1st, but the builder finishes on July 1st. What remedy is John most likely entitled to? Is it A, compensatory damages? B, specific performance? C, punitive damages? Or D, rescission? The answer is A, compensatory damages. John is likely entitled to compensatory damages for any losses due to the delay, such as additional living expenses. Sarah sells her car to Mike, but Mike fails to pay the agreed price. What is Sarah's best course of action? Is it A, seek punitive damages? B, terminate the contract? C, demand specific performance? Or D, sue for the contract price? The answer is D, sue for the contract price. Sarah can sue for the contract price as Mike's failure to pay is a breach of contract. Finance. What is the primary purpose of underwriting in the loan process? Is it A, to determine the interest rate for the loan? B, to assess the risk of lending to a borrower? C, to finalize the loan agreement terms? Or D, to collect fees from the borrower? The answer is B, to assess the risk of lending to a borrower. Underwriting assesses the risk of lending money to a borrower by evaluating their financial information and creditworthiness. Which of the following is not typically considered during the underwriting process? Is it A, borrower's credit score? B, borrower's employment history? C, borrower's debt-to-income ratio? Or D, lender's profit margin? The answer is D, lender's profit margin. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. All options seem relevant, but borrower's employment history is a key factor, unlike lender's profit margin. John is applying for a mortgage and has a high credit score but a low income. What might the underwriter focus on to approve his loan? Is it A, John's credit score and additional assets? B, John's employment history? C, John's current debt obligations? Or D, John's loan amount request? The answer is A, John's credit score and additional assets. The underwriter may focus on John's credit score and any additional assets to offset his low income. What type of loan is typically used for purchasing a home? Is it A, personal loan? B, auto loan? C, mortgage? Or D, student loan? The answer is C. Mortgage. A mortgage is a loan specifically designed for purchasing real estate, such as a home. Sarah is considering a fixed-rate mortgage for her new home. What is a key advantage of this loan type? Is it A, lower initial interest rates, B, stable monthly payments, C, flexibility in payment terms, or D, no down payment required? The answer is B, stable monthly payments. A fixed-rate mortgage provides stable monthly payments, which can help with budgeting. Government programs and federal regulations. Which federal regulation requires lenders to provide borrowers with a loan estimate within 3 business days of receiving a loan application? Is it A, RESPA, B, TREC, C, CFPB, or D, ECOA? The answer is B, TREC. The TILO-RESPA Integrated Disclosure Rule mandates that lenders provide a loan estimate within 3 business days to ensure borrowers understand the terms and costs of their mortgage. Under the Truth in Lending Act, which of the following is not required to be disclosed to borrowers? Is it A, annual percentage rate, B, total finance charge, C, borrower's credit score, or D, payment schedule? The answer is C, borrower's credit score. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. TILO requires disclosure of the APR and finance charges, but not the borrower's credit score, which is often confused with credit terms. If a borrower receives a loan estimate and decides to proceed with the loan, what is the next step the lender must take according to TRID regulations? Is it A, provide a revised loan estimate, B, request additional documentation, C, schedule the closing date, or D, deliver a closing disclosure? The answer is D, deliver a closing disclosure. After the borrower indicates intent to proceed, the lender must provide a closing disclosure at least 3 business days before closing. Which regulation is primarily responsible for ensuring that consumers receive important disclosures about the cost of their mortgage loan? Is it A, TILA, B, RESPA, C, HMDA, or D, ECOA? The answer is A, TILA. TILA is designed to ensure that consumers receive clear and accurate information about the cost of their credit, including mortgage loans. A borrower is confused about the fees listed on their closing disclosure. Which regulation ensures they have the right to review these fees before closing? Is it A, RESPA, B, C, TILA, or D, CFPB? The answer is B, TRID. TRID requires lenders to provide a closing disclosure 3 business days before closing, allowing borrowers to review and understand the fees.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to Birdsy.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
Texas mortgage regulations and foreclosure processes. What is the minimum notice period required by Texas law before a lender can initiate foreclosure proceedings on a residential property? Is it A, 10 days, B, 20 days, C, 30 days, or D, 45 days? The answer is B, 20 days. In Texas, lenders must provide at least a 20-day notice of default before initiating foreclosure proceedings, allowing the borrower time to cure the default. In Texas, what is the primary method of foreclosure used by lenders? Is it A, non-judicial foreclosure, B, judicial foreclosure, C, strict foreclosure, Or D, deed in lieu of foreclosure? The answer is A, non-judicial foreclosure. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, Texas primarily uses non-judicial foreclosure, which is faster and less costly than judicial foreclosure, often leading to confusion with other states' practices. If a homeowner in Texas misses a mortgage payment, what is the first action a lender typically takes? Is it A, initiate foreclosure proceedings? B, file a lawsuit? C, send a notice of default? Or D, seize the property? The answer is C, send a notice of default. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, lenders usually send a notice of default first, which can be confused with immediate foreclosure actions. John, a Texas homeowner, receives a notice of default. What is the minimum time he has to cure the default before foreclosure proceedings can begin? Is it A, 20 days, B, 15 days, C, 25 days, or D, 30 days? The answer is A, 20 days. In Texas, after receiving a notice of default, the homeowner has at least 20 days to cure the default before foreclosure can proceed. Sarah is considering purchasing a foreclosed home in Texas. What type of foreclosure process should she expect the property to have gone through? Is it A, non-judicial foreclosure, B, judicial foreclosure, C, strict foreclosure, or D, voluntary foreclosure? The answer is A, non-judicial foreclosure. In Texas, most foreclosures are non-judicial, meaning they occur outside of court, making the process quicker and more straightforward. Finance calculations and borrower qualification. What is the formula to calculate the monthly mortgage payment using the loan amount, interest rate, and loan term? Is it A, P equals PV divided by N plus R? B, P equals R times PV divided by 1 minus negative N? C, P equals PV times R times N? Or D, P equals PV divided by N? The answer is B, P equals R times PV divided by 1 minus negative N. The monthly mortgage payment is calculated using the formula P equals R times PV divided by 1 minus R to the power of negative N, where P is the payment, R is the monthly interest rate, PV is the loan amount, and N is the number of payments. If a borrower has a debt-to-income ratio of 45%, can they qualify for a conventional mortgage? Is it A, yes, as long as they have a good credit score? B, yes, if they have a large down payment? C, no, because the standard maximum is 43%. Or D, no, unless they have no other debts? The answer is C, no, because the standard maximum is 43%. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the standard maximum debt-to-income ratio for conventional loans is typically 43%, but exceptions can be made based on other factors like credit score and down payment. John is considering a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage with a 4% interest rate on a $300,000 loan. What will his monthly principal and interest payment be? Is it A, $1,000, B, $1,200, C, $1,500, or D, $1,432.25? The answer is D, $1,432.25. The monthly payment can be calculated using the mortgage formula P equals R times PV divided by 1 minus R to the power of negative N, resulting in approximately $1,432.25 for this scenario. Sarah is evaluating her eligibility for a home loan. Her monthly income is $5,000, and her monthly debt obligations are $1,500. What is her debt-to-income ratio? Is it A, 30%, B. 25%, C. 35%, or D. 40%? The answer is A. 30%. The debt-to-income ratio is calculated by dividing total monthly debt by gross monthly income, resulting in 30% for Sarah. Transfer of property. What is the primary purpose of recording a deed in the public records? Is it A. to transfer ownership of the property, B. to provide public notice of ownership, C. to determine property taxes, or D. to validate the legal description of the property? The answer is B. to provide public notice of ownership. Recording a deed provides public notice of ownership, protecting the owner's rights against subsequent claims. Which of the following is not required for a deed to be valid? Is it A. grantor's signature, B. legal description of the property, C. recording in public records, or D. consideration? The answer is C. recording in public records. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. A deed does not need to be recorded to be valid, though recording is important for public notice. John sells his house to Mary, and they both sign the deed, but John forgets to deliver it to Mary. What is the status of the title transfer? Is it A. the title has transferred to Mary, B. the title is void, C. the title is in escrow, or D. the title has not transferred? The answer is D. the title has not transferred. Delivery and acceptance of the deed are necessary for the title to transfer. Without delivery, the transfer is incomplete. What is a quitclaim deed primarily used for? Is it A. to transfer any interest the grantor may have without warranties, B. to guarantee clear title to the grantee, C. to ensure the property is free of liens, or D. to provide a legal description of the property? The answer is A. to transfer any interest the grantor may have without warranties. A quitclaim deed transfers any interest the grantor may have without warranties, often used to clear title defects. Lisa receives a deed from her uncle, but it is not notarized. She records it anyway. What is the effect of this recording? Is it A. the deed is invalid, B. the deed is fully enforceable, C. the recording does not provide constructive notice, or D. the deed is voidable? The answer is C. the recording does not provide constructive notice. Recording a deed that is not notarized may not provide constructive notice, affecting its enforceability against third parties. Closing procedures, escrow, and settlement statements. What is the primary purpose of an escrow account in a real estate transaction? Is it A. to provide a loan to the buyer, B. to hold funds or documents until conditions are met, C. to determine the property's market value, or D. to manage the property's title insurance? The answer is B. to hold funds or documents until conditions are met. An escrow account is used to hold funds or documents until certain conditions are met, ensuring both parties fulfill their contractual obligations. In a real estate transaction, who typically pays for the title insurance policy that protects the lender? Is it A. the seller, B. the lender, C. the buyer, or D. the real estate agent? The answer is C. the buyer. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The buyer often pays for the lender's title insurance, which can be confused with the owner's policy, typically paid by the seller. During a closing, Sarah discovers a lien on the property she is purchasing. What should be her immediate course of action? Is it A. consult her attorney or escrow agent to resolve the lien, B. ignore it and proceed with the closing, C. request a reduction in the purchase price, or D. cancel the transaction immediately? The answer is A. Consult her attorney or escrow agent to resolve the lien. Sarah should address the lien with her attorney or escrow agent to resolve it before closing, as it could affect her ownership rights. What document is typically used to transfer ownership of real property from one party to another? Is it A. Lease agreement, B. Promissory note, C. Mortgage, or D. Deed? The answer is D. Deed. A deed is the legal document used to transfer ownership of real property from one party to another. John is selling his house, and the closing is scheduled for next week. The buyer requests a walkthrough before closing. What is the purpose of this walkthrough? Is it A. to renegotiate the purchase price, B. to verify the property's condition and completed repairs, C. to finalize the mortgage terms, or D. to inspect the neighborhood amenities? The answer is B. to verify the property's condition and completed repairs. The walkthrough allows the buyer to ensure the property is in the agreed-upon condition and that any repairs have been completed. Title insurance and abstracts of title. What is the primary purpose of title insurance in real estate transactions? Is it A. to guarantee the property's market value, B. to protect against title defects and claims, C. to ensure the property is free of zoning violations, or D. to provide a warranty on the property's physical condition? The answer is B. to protect against title defects and claims. Title insurance protects the buyer and lender from financial loss due to defects in the title, such as liens or encumbrances that were not discovered during the title search. In a title insurance policy, what does the term encumbrance refer to? Is it A. a physical defect in the property, B. a guarantee of clear title, C. a claim or lien on the property, or D. a restriction on property use? The answer is C. a claim or lien on the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term encumbrance can be confused with other property-related terms. It specifically refers to any claim, lien, or liability attached to the property that may affect its transferability. John is purchasing a home and discovers a lien on the property after closing. What role does title insurance play in this scenario? Is it A. it covers financial losses from the undiscovered lien, B. it guarantees the removal of the lien, C. it ensures the seller pays off the lien, or D. it provides a refund of the purchase price? The answer is A. it covers financial losses from the undiscovered lien. Title insurance will cover financial losses due to undiscovered liens at the time of purchase, protecting John from this unexpected claim. Emily is reviewing an abstract of title for a property she wants to buy. What information is she likely to find in this document? Is it A. the current market value of the property, B. a list of all previous owners' contact information, C. a detailed inspection report of the property, or D. a summary of the property's ownership history and encumbrances? The answer is D. a summary of the property's ownership history and encumbrances. An abstract of title provides a summary of the property's ownership history, including transfers, liens, and encumbrances, helping Emily understand any potential title issues. Taxation, property, transfer, and capital gains. What is the primary purpose of a 1031 exchange in real estate transactions? Is it A. to avoid paying property taxes, B. to defer capital gains taxes, C. to reduce the property's assessed value, or D. to increase rental income? The answer is B. to defer capital gains taxes. A 1031 exchange allows property owners to defer capital gains taxes by reinvesting the proceeds from a sold property into a similar property. Which of the following is not considered a taxable event in property transfer? Is it A, selling a property, B, exchanging property in a non-qualifying 1031 exchange, C, gifting property to a family member, or D, receiving rental income? The answer is C, gifting property to a family member. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Gifting property is often misunderstood. While it can trigger gift taxes, it is not a taxable event for capital gains until the recipient sells the property. John sold his investment property and reinvested the proceeds into a similar property within 180 days. What tax benefit is he likely to receive? Is it A, deferral of capital gains taxes, B, exemption from property taxes, C, reduction in income tax rate, or D, immediate tax deduction? The answer is A, deferral of capital gains taxes. John is likely to benefit from a 1031 exchange, which allows him to defer capital gains taxes by reinvesting in a similar property. Sarah inherited a property from her aunt and sold it a year later. How is the capital gains tax calculated? Is it A, based on the original purchase price by her aunt, B, based on the price Sarah paid for the property, C, based on the property's assessed value, or D, based on the fair market value at the time of inheritance? The answer is D, based on the fair market value at the time of inheritance. The capital gains tax is calculated based on the property's fair market value at the time of inheritance, not the original purchase price. Valuation and appraisal. What is the primary purpose of an appraisal in real estate transactions? Is it A, to determine the property's tax value, B, to estimate the property's market value, C, to set the listing price for the property, or D, to evaluate the property's condition? The answer is B, to estimate the property's market value. An appraisal provides an unbiased estimate of a property's market value, which is crucial for lenders to determine the appropriate loan amount. Which factor is least likely to affect a property's market value? Is it A, location, B, current market conditions, C, age of the property, or D, property size? The answer is C, age of the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. All listed factors can influence market value, but the property's age is less impactful than location or market conditions. A homeowner is considering selling their property and hires an appraiser to assess its value. The appraiser notes that the property is located in a rapidly developing area. How might this affect the appraisal? Is it A, the appraisal value may be higher due to increased demand, B, the appraisal value may be lower due to potential overdevelopment, C, the appraisal value will remain unchanged, or D, the appraisal value will depend solely on the property's condition? The answer is A, the appraisal value may be higher due to increased demand. Rapid development typically increases demand and property values, leading to a higher appraisal value. What is the definition of market value in real estate? Is it A, the highest price a buyer is willing to pay, B, the price set by the seller, C, the assessed value for tax purposes, or D, the most probable price in a competitive market? The answer is D, the most probable price in a competitive market. Market value is the most probable price a property should bring in a competitive and open market under fair sale conditions. An investor is evaluating a property in a neighborhood with declining property values. What impact might this trend have on the property's appraisal? Is it A, the appraisal value will increase due to potential future development, B, the appraisal value will likely decrease due to the declining market, C, the appraisal value will remain stable regardless of neighborhood trends, or D, The appraisal value will depend solely on the property's condition. The answer is B. The appraisal value will likely decrease due to the declining market. Declining neighborhood values typically lead to lower appraisals as market trends significantly influence property value assessments. Approaches to value: cost, market, and income. What is the primary focus of the cost approach in real estate valuation? Is it A, analyzing income potential, B, estimating replacement cost minus depreciation, C, comparing recent sales of similar properties, or D, evaluating market trends? The answer is B, estimating replacement cost minus depreciation. The cost approach estimates the value of a property by calculating the cost to replace or reproduce it, minus depreciation. It is often used for unique properties where comparable sales are not available. In the market approach to valuation, which factor is least likely to directly affect the value of a property? Is it A, location of comparable properties, B, recent sale prices of similar properties, C, owner's mortgage balance, or D, condition of the property? The answer is C, owner's mortgage balance. Why this question may seem a bit tricky: market approach relies on comparable sales, but factors like the owner's mortgage balance do not directly affect the property's market value. A real estate investor is evaluating a rental property using the income approach. If the property's net operating income is $50,000 and the capitalization rate is 5%, what is the estimated value of the property? Is it A, $1 million, B, $250,000, C, $500,000, or D, $2,500,000? The answer is A, $1 million. The income approach uses the formula value equals net operating income over capitalization rate. Here, $50,000 divided by 0.05 equals $1 million. Which approach to value is most appropriate for appraising a single-family home in a well-established neighborhood? Is it A, cost approach, B, income approach, C, market approach, or D, residual approach? The answer is C, market approach. The market approach is most suitable for single-family homes in established neighborhoods due to the availability of comparable sales data. A developer is considering purchasing land to build a new office complex. Which valuation approach should they primarily use to determine the land's value? Is it A, income approach, B, cost approach, C, market approach, or D, sales comparison approach? The answer is B, cost approach. For land intended for development, the cost approach is often used to estimate the value based on potential construction costs and land improvements. CMA, BPO, and broker-level valuation. What is the primary purpose of a comparative market analysis in real estate? Is it A, to determine the exact market value of a property, B, to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties, C, to assess the condition of a property, or D, to provide a legal appraisal of a property? The answer is B, to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties. A CMA is used to estimate the value of a property by comparing it to similar properties that have recently sold in the area. In a broker price opinion, what is the broker primarily assessing? Is it A, the exact market value of the property, B, the legal appraisal value of the property, C, the probable selling price of the property, or D, the replacement cost of the property? The answer is C, the probable selling price of the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky: a BPO assesses the probable selling price, not the exact market value or legal appraisal. A broker is preparing a BPO for a bank-owned property in a declining market. What should the broker consider most critically? Is it A, recent sales of comparable properties, B, the original purchase price of the property, C, the cost of repairs needed for the property, or D, the assessed tax value of the property? The answer is A, recent sales of comparable properties. The broker should consider recent sales of comparable properties to provide an accurate BPO in a declining market. Which of the following is not typically included in a CMA report? Is it A, comparable sales data, B, property features comparison, C, market trend analysis, or D, legal appraisal? The answer is D, legal appraisal. A CMA report typically includes comparable sales, property features, and market trends, but not a legal appraisal. A real estate agent is conducting a CMA for a client selling their home. What is the most important factor to ensure accuracy? Is it A, including as many properties as possible, B, choosing the most similar and recently sold properties, C, using properties from different neighborhoods, or D, relying on the client's desired selling price? The answer is B, choosing the most similar and recently sold properties. Selecting the most similar and recently sold properties ensures the CMA accurately reflects the current market. USPAP foundations and Texas requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice? Is it A, to set property tax rates, B, to establish ethical and performance standards for appraisers, C, to regulate real estate licensing, or D, to determine real estate market values? The answer is B, to establish ethical and performance standards for appraisers. USPAP provides ethical and performance standards for the appraisal profession, ensuring public trust and confidence in appraisal services. Which of the following is not a requirement under USPAP for appraisers? Is it A, maintaining confidentiality of client information, B, performing appraisals with impartiality and objectivity, C, providing free appraisals for low-income clients, or D, keeping work files for a minimum of 5 years? The answer is C, providing free appraisals for low-income clients. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options include tasks that appraisers commonly perform, but not all are USPAP requirements. An appraiser in Texas is asked to appraise a property for a potential buyer who is also a family member. What should the appraiser do to comply with USPAP and Texas requirements? Is it A, proceed with the appraisal without any disclosure, B, refuse the assignment due to conflict of interest, C, complete the appraisal but charge a higher fee, or D, disclose the relationship and proceed with the appraisal? The answer is D, disclose the relationship and proceed with the appraisal. The appraiser must disclose any potential conflicts of interest, such as familial relationships, to maintain transparency and objectivity. Under Texas law, how often must appraisers complete continuing education to maintain their license? Is it A, every 2 years, B, every year, C, every 3 years, or D, every 5 years? The answer is A, every 2 years. Texas requires appraisers to complete continuing education every 2 years to ensure they remain informed about industry standards and practices. Real estate practice, disclosures, and TREC compliance. What is the primary purpose of the seller's disclosure notice in Texas real estate transactions? Is it A, to provide a legal description of the property, B, to disclose known material defects in the property, C, to outline the terms of the sale agreement, or D, to list the property's current market value? The answer is B, to disclose known material defects in the property. The seller's disclosure notice is designed to inform potential buyers of known material defects in the property, ensuring transparency and protecting both parties in the transaction. Which of the following is not required to be disclosed under the Texas Seller's Disclosure Notice? Is it A, previous flooding incidents, B, presence of lead-based paint, C, a neighbor's loud dog, or D, foundation issues? The answer is C, a neighbor's loud dog. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the question asks for what is not required, which can be confusing. While structural defects and environmental hazards must be disclosed, the presence of a neighbor's loud dog is not a required disclosure. John is selling his house built in 1975 and has been informed by a previous owner about lead-based paint. What is John's obligation regarding this information? Is it A, disclose the presence of lead-based paint to potential buyers, B, remove all lead-based paint before selling, C, ignore the information as it was from a previous owner, or D, only disclose if asked by the buyer? The answer is A, disclose the presence of lead-based paint to potential buyers. John must disclose the presence of lead-based paint because federal law requires disclosure for homes built before 1978, ensuring buyers are aware of potential health hazards. What is the consequence if the seller fails to provide the seller's disclosure notice in Texas? Is it A, the sale automatically proceeds without disclosures, B, the seller must pay a fine to the buyer, C, the buyer must accept the property as is, or D, the buyer can terminate the contract? The answer is D, the buyer can terminate the contract. If the seller fails to provide the disclosure, the buyer has the right to terminate the contract, which protects the buyer from unforeseen issues. Mary's buying a home and discovers after closing that the seller failed to disclose a major roof leak. What recourse does Mary have? Is it A, request a refund of the purchase price, B, sue the seller for damages, C, demand the seller repair the roof, or D, file a complaint with the Texas Real Estate Commission? The answer is B, sue the seller for damages. Mary can potentially sue the seller for damages due to non-disclosure of a known defect, as sellers are required to disclose known material defects. Fair housing, ethics, and consumer protection. What is the primary purpose of the Fair Housing Act? Is it A, to regulate real estate commissions, B, to prevent discrimination in housing, C, to establish zoning laws, or D, to set property tax rates? The answer is B, to prevent discrimination in housing. The Fair Housing Act aims to eliminate discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, and familial status. Under the Fair Housing Act, which of the following is not a protected class? Is it A, race, B, religion, C, disability, or D, age? The answer is D, age. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term age is often confused with familial status, which is protected. However, age itself is not a protected class under the Fair Housing Act. A real estate agent is showing a house to a family and mentions that the neighborhood is perfect for families like yours. What potential issue does this statement raise? Is it A, it violates zoning laws, B, it breaches client confidentiality, C, it suggests steering based on familial status, or D, it constitutes false advertising? The answer is C, it suggests steering based on familial status. This statement could imply steering, which is directing clients to or away from certain areas based on familial status, a violation of the Fair Housing Act. Which agency enforces the Fair Housing Act? Is it A, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, B, Federal Trade Commission, C, Environmental Protection Agency, or D, Internal Revenue Service? The answer is A, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development is responsible for enforcing the Fair Housing Act. A landlord refuses to rent to a tenant because they have children, citing potential noise complaints. What Fair Housing Act principle is being violated? Is it A, discrimination based on race, B, discrimination based on familial status, C, discrimination based on national origin, or D, discrimination based on religion? The answer is B, discrimination based on familial status. Refusing to rent based on the presence of children violates the Fair Housing Act's protection against discrimination based on familial status. Handling trust funds, record-keeping, and TREC audits. What is the primary purpose of a trust account in real estate transactions? Is it A, to earn interest for the broker, B, to hold funds on behalf of clients or third parties, C, to pay for office expenses, or D, to provide loans to clients? The answer is B, to hold funds on behalf of clients or third parties. A trust account is used to hold funds on behalf of clients or third parties, ensuring that the money is kept separate from the broker's personal or business funds. Which of the following is not a requirement for maintaining a trust account according to TREC regulations? Is it A, the account must be labeled as a trust account, B, the account must be separate from personal accounts, C, the account must be audited monthly by TREC, or D, the account must be in a federally insured bank? The answer is C, the account must be audited monthly by TREC. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the options include common requirements, but the distractor is a plausible misunderstanding of the rules. A real estate broker receives a $5,000 earnest money deposit from a buyer. What should the broker do with these funds to comply with TREC regulations? Is it A, deposit the funds into a trust account, B, use the funds to cover immediate business expenses, C, hold the funds in a personal account until closing, or D, return the funds to the buyer immediately? The answer is A, deposit the funds into a trust account. The broker must deposit the earnest money into a trust account to ensure it is kept separate from personal or business funds. How long must a broker retain records of real estate transactions according to TREC? Is it A, 1 year, B, 2 years, C, 3 years, or D, 4 years? The answer is D, 4 years. TREC requires brokers to retain records of real estate transactions for at least 4 years. During a TREC audit, a broker is asked to provide records of a transaction from 3 years ago. What is the broker's obligation? Is it A, provide the records as requested, B, inform TREC that records are only kept for 2 years, C, explain that records are confidential and cannot be shared, or D, request an extension to find the records? The answer is A, provide the records as requested. The broker must provide the requested records because TREC requires brokers to retain transaction records for at least 4 years. Advertising rules, offers, and professional conduct. What is required by TREC when advertising a property for sale? Is it A, the agent's personal contact information, B, the broker's name or the name of the brokerage firm, C, the property's listing price, or D, the agent's license number? The answer is B, the broker's name or the name of the brokerage firm. TREC requires that all advertisements include the broker's name or the name of the brokerage firm. This ensures transparency and compliance with advertising rules. Which of the following is not a requirement for a real estate advertisement under TREC rules? Is it A, the broker's name, B, the brokerage firm's name, C, the agent's photo, or D, the agent's contact information? The answer is C, the agent's photo. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The inclusion of the agent's photo might seem necessary for personal branding, but TREC does not mandate it. The focus is on broker identification. Sarah, a licensed real estate agent, receives an offer on a property she listed. The offer is below the asking price, but the buyer is pre-approved. What should Sarah do to comply with TREC rules? Is it A, present the offer to the seller immediately, B, reject the offer on behalf of the seller, C, wait for a higher offer before presenting, or D, negotiate with the buyer for a higher offer before presenting? The answer is A, present the offer to the seller immediately. Sarah must present all offers to the seller, regardless of the offer amount, to comply with TREC rules. This ensures the seller can make an informed decision. What must a real estate agent disclose to a potential buyer under TREC rules? Is it A, the seller's reason for selling, B, the neighborhood crime rate, C, the property's tax history, or D, any known material defects in the property? The answer is D, any known material defects in the property. Agents must disclose any known material defects in the property to potential buyers. This ensures transparency and protects the buyer's interests. John, a real estate agent, wants to advertise a property on social media. What must he include in his post to comply with TREC advertising rules? Is it A, the property's listing price, B, his personal phone number, C, the name of his broker or brokerage firm, or D, a disclaimer about the accuracy of information? The answer is C, the name of his broker or brokerage firm. John must include the name of his broker or brokerage firm in the advertisement to comply with TREC rules, ensuring proper identification and accountability. Specialty areas. What is the maximum amount of security deposit a landlord can require from a tenant under the Texas Property Code? Is it A, 1 month's rent, B, no maximum limit, C, 2 months' rent, or D, 3 months' rent? The answer is B, no maximum limit. Texas law does not specify a maximum amount for security deposits, allowing landlords to set their own limits. However, it must be reasonable and disclosed in the lease agreement. Under the Texas Property Code, when must a landlord return a tenant's security deposit after the lease ends? Is it A, within 30 days after the tenant provides a forwarding address, B, within 15 days after the lease ends, C, within 45 days after the tenant vacates the property, or D, within 60 days after the lease ends? The answer is A, within 30 days after the tenant provides a forwarding address. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The timeline depends on the tenant providing a forwarding address, which is often overlooked. The landlord must return the deposit within 30 days after the tenant vacates and provides a forwarding address. A tenant, Sarah, reports a broken heater in her apartment during winter. According to Texas Property Code, what is the landlord's obligation in this situation? Is it A, ignore the request as it's not an emergency, B, repair the heater within 60 days, C, make a diligent effort to repair the heater within a reasonable time, or D, wait until the lease renewal to address the issue? The answer is C, make a diligent effort to repair the heater within a reasonable time. The landlord must make a diligent effort to repair the heater, as it affects the health and safety of the tenant, and do so within a reasonable time after being notified. John, a property manager, receives a complaint about a noisy neighbor. What is his responsibility under Texas Property Code? Is it A, ignore the complaint as it's a personal issue? B, investigate the complaint and take appropriate action? C, wait for a formal written complaint before acting? Or D, advise the tenant to contact the police? The answer is B, investigate the complaint and take appropriate action. John must address the complaint by investigating and taking appropriate action, as property managers are responsible for maintaining a peaceful living environment. Commercial, industrial, and investment properties. What is a primary characteristic of a triple net lease in commercial real estate? Is it A, the landlord pays all operating expenses? B, the tenant pays only the base rent? C, the tenant pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance? Or D, a landlord shares maintenance costs with the tenant? The answer is C, the tenant pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. In a triple net lease, the tenant is responsible for property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, which reduces the landlord's financial responsibilities. Which type of property is most likely to be classified as an industrial property? Is it A, a retail shopping center? B, a distribution warehouse? C, an office building? Or D, a residential apartment complex? The answer is B, a distribution warehouse. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Warehouses and distribution centers are often confused with commercial properties, but they are typically classified as industrial due to their use for manufacturing, storage, and distribution. A real estate investor is considering purchasing a commercial property with a high vacancy rate. What should the investor primarily assess to determine the investment's potential? Is it A, local market demand for similar properties? B, the current owner's financial statements? C, the property's architectural style? Or D, the age of the building? The answer is A, local market demand for similar properties. The investor should assess the local market demand for similar properties to understand if the vacancy is due to market conditions or property-specific issues. A company is deciding between leasing a commercial office space or purchasing an industrial warehouse. What is a key financial consideration they should evaluate? Is it A, the aesthetic appeal of the office space? B, the proximity to public transportation? C, the availability of parking spaces? Or D, the long-term cost implications of leasing versus owning? The answer is D, the long-term cost implications of leasing versus owning. The company should evaluate the long-term cost implications of leasing versus owning, including potential tax benefits and asset appreciation. Farm, ranch, and rural properties. What is a key consideration when determining mineral rights in Texas farm and ranch properties? Is it A, the landowner always retains mineral rights? B, mineral rights can be severed from surface rights? C, mineral rights are automatically included with the sale of the property? Or D, the state of Texas retains all mineral rights? The answer is B, mineral rights can be severed from surface rights. Mineral rights in Texas are often severed from surface rights, meaning the landowner may not own the minerals beneath the land. A buyer is interested in purchasing a ranch in Texas and wants to ensure they have access to water for livestock. What should they verify before purchasing? Is it A, the property includes a well? B, the property is near a river? C, the property has legal water rights? Or D, the property has a pond? The answer is C, the property has legal water rights. In Texas, water rights are separate from land ownership, so buyers must verify water rights to ensure access.
Thanks for watching. If you found this exam review helpful, be sure to subscribe for more real-world practice and topic-focused study videos. And visit Birdsy.ai to start your free trial of Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.